will.
And I want to say thank you to Brian O'Brien. I just noticed they've given us a coffee donation, so thank you ever so much, Brian. That's really kind of you. And we do appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Excuse me, I am just signing in because obviously
He's late again.
I have to come in under another name, you know. Well, not another name, my name.
A pseudonym.
Yes,
Ooh,
my name.
The man of
It's
mystery.
just, I always function, because I answer comments and things, I always function both of us on Let's Go, but I have to nip out into Phil Johnson just so that one of us sees what you see, which is useful because there are those occasions when you don't see what we see, and there are those occasions when you don't hear anything at all.
No, I know, I'm always waiting for somebody to say, we can't hear you.
Yeah, but no, we seem to be working. I'd better move in a little. I think I'm slightly off
You look
screen
like you're not
here.
speaking to me.
Oh, so sorry, dear.
Oh, it's cold. Are you cold? I'm freezing. This is my third layer here, and I'm stood with my back to the radiator, and I'm trying to get nice and warm, and I'm not. I've got cold fingers.
Yeah, because we've got the heating on. It's just that at night the temperature
really
plummets.
plummeting, you.
And we're in an upside down house. So although our lounge and everything upstairs, which is nice and warm, some of our rooms are on the lower floor, the master bedroom and the studios and the offices. And of course, it's down here the temperature falls the fastest. So we are stood in front of a radiator. I did have 3 layers on.
Oh, you've taken yours off. You're very brave.
Yes, I had my big fleecy top
He's
on.
dressed to impress. I'm not.
Well, Manky wanted to sit in my pocket. He wanted to be back in his favourite seat. So I took my big top off. I had this, and a big fleecy top. But yeah, I'm being brave. But lovely to see everyone. There's over 60 in at the moment.
Yes, and let's have a look at the first 3 in. And I know the first person in was Adam, the Victorian Mudlark. So congratulations. And I hope you're feeling better, Adam. I hear you haven't been very well, so hope you're picking up now. You've had a bit of a rough time with viruses. They seem to chase you around lately. You have to learn to run faster. And second person in was Laura Lakefrog. Well done, Laura. And third place was Bolly Tyler Fan 34. So well done.
Very good.
Just pipped to the post was Jen W. Nearly there.
Yeah, and a big thank you to everyone as well for all the lovely comments during the premiere last night and that have come on since. I'm only 3 weeks behind on comments now, I'm only 2 weeks behind.
Right, you're doing really well.
I am, because I was 6 weeks behind when we started a week or so ago, and I've caught up on those, but I am answering this week's video and then jumping down and coming up from the bottom. So I will cover all comments, but I have been answering the comments on this week's video, and it is very encouraging. As we said when we announced the change, we appreciate that there's going to be a significant shift in viewing patterns, and that is certainly happening. We used to have always over 28 days positive, usually double figures, sometimes treble figures of new subscribers. We are currently in a negative. We're -6. We lost 6 subscribers and gained. So if we gained any, we lost more during the last 28 days. But that's completely fine, because we appreciate, and we keep saying this to people who ask, are we going to go mudlarking? That we will probably mudlark occasionally with friends, such as if we're visiting Yorkshire or something, but it'll just be a by the way part of what we do. We are now a travel and exploration channel.
Yes.
And we proved that by meeting another Tom.
I know.
From Yorkshire.
Oh, I thought it would be really funny if I put in our thumbnail.
I know.
See Tom from Yorkshire, and everybody would be thinking,
I know.
we're going to see Tom.
I know, Caroline was so tempted. We have
naughty,
stopped short of clickbait in our career on YouTube, but that was so tempting to say, we meet Tom from Yorkshire, see him for yourself.
Yeah, see Tom in the
We
flesh.
had all of Tom's people over to meet another
I think
Tom.
we'd have had a lot of thumbs down.
I think so. But as I said on the video, I am at this moment scientifically feeling that, having done all of the mathematics, that all the Toms we've met from Yorkshire have been lovely people.
All two of them.
Yes, both of them.
He was very friendly though, wasn't he?
He was.
Oh, he was so happy and made us feel really comfortable.
And from the minute we walked in, he was so charming. That just such a natural, and he quite enjoyed, and he actually subscribed. So although we're 6 down, we would have been 7 down because Tom literally subscribed to the channel. So I'm a subscriber. So there we go. It was lovely.
And hello, Tom.
Yes,
oh,
you're watching
Laura.
Oh,
thank you so much. The $5 super chat, and enjoy your lives. Love the change. Oh, thank you so much, Laura. That's really kind of you.
Laura is one of those who've left us an incredibly positive comment about the change in the channel, and as I say, it was necessary. And what we're believing, I said to Caroline, we'll start looking at the numbers a year from now, because when we've been doing this for a 12-month and hopefully bringing out some interesting, some exciting, and most of all, we hope entertaining videos.
Well, yes, it may not be what everyone's used to. We are hoping to entertain you, and it's looking good at the moment. A lot of people are positive and they're enjoying the content. So.
And Caroline's enjoying the fact that she didn't cook tea at least one day this week.
No, I know.
Because I did the cooking. And we've got a definite double thumbs up off tech support Tim, who was well impressed with my cooking, and he was surprised at how much he enjoyed the Caerphilly cheese. Because Caerphilly cheese is an acquired taste. It's not like your cheddar or anything else. It's very dry, and it's quite bland in a way. It's a white cheese.
It's got an edge to it. It's very difficult to explain.
But in the mix with the leeks and that were cooked down in the wine, and I was wondering, because I've never been a nut eater, but somebody said never put nuts in my potatoes previously, and neither would we.
It was actually quite tasty.
But all the textures, Tim liked it, so that was a success as well. There we go.
Laura said, will you consider cooking a guest recipe? Well, I suppose it all depends if we get any guest recipes, as long as they're simple enough.
We are open to suggestions. Anyone's got any ideas or thoughts, and then they can all go in our file, because Chris, the last comment I saw on this week's film, Chris was saying, I know we've got several Chris's, but I forget the surname. Chris B, I'm going to say, because it was a B as the surname, because I know we've got a couple of Chris's, but Chris was saying, fantastic video, loved it, was so appreciative of the fact that in this country we seem to have in parts held on to our little shops, because it seems that a lot of the places around the world have lost them to the big conglomerates that have taken over, but also said that they would love it if one day, the next time we go to Lyme Regis, we could show them around the town.
Oh yes, they've got some lovely little shops in Lyme Regis.
And some beautiful fossil shops.
Yes, they got a museum there, I think, as well, so we could pop in there.
Yeah, maybe we'll
I don't think they've got a castle.
And I'm not sure if they've got a Tom from Yorkshire, but we will look. And if they do, and if he's in the museum, we'll have another star. We'll end up with a sort of subsection for Toms from Yorkshire.
We could put an advert in the papers, couldn't we? Wanted Toms from Yorkshire.
That's right, to appear in YouTube. But yeah, so ideas are coming through, and we're going to just put all those ideas to the side, and then as we can use them, we will, by all means. And particularly if we've got friends who are in America, Australia, and other parts of the world, whose heritage is here in Wales or within the UK. If you know of a significant location that's linked to your heritage and would like to see a video from there, then, as I say, send a suggestion, and if we're passing that way...
Yeah, I am going to get a file and put all your different suggestions in, and they may not come around for a year or whenever we can get to where we're going in the UK, but we'll put them all down, and then when we go to different areas, we can check out people's suggestions. And Mo has suggested...
Oh, what's Mo suggesting now?
Irish stew for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
I don't think we've ever made. I don't know what Irish stew is like. I know what my stew is like.
Yeah, but we have... In Wales, it's called cawl, is it?
Yeah, that's lamb stew.
Yeah,
I don't make a. I just make a.
No, but I'm saying
stew.
The Welsh tend to use cawl, tend to use lamb, because obviously there are 3 times as many sheep in Wales as there are people. So we've got a lot of sheep farming. So for those sheep farmers who are not wealthy people, So, but they had access to meat, and therefore they could use the root vegetables, the water, and the stock from the sheep, and that's how they could make their food. And therefore, on restaurants in Wales, you will see, if they want to do a Welsh touch, they'll give it cawl. We did dragon curry once. Remember, not ourselves, but a friend of ours, when we were doing a breakfast or something, a lunch, wasn't it? And they came up with dragon curry.
It was so hot.
It was.
You felt like you were breathing flames.
He called it dragon curry because you breathed fire.
I think he just dropped the tub of chilli in there.
I'm sure it was. You would be breathing fire by the time you'd ate it. But no, we had a great time, and it was lovely to take you all in the castle. Because as I mentioned in another comment, what a bargain. We paid for 2, and so far about 1,000 people came in with us.
So you've all got even a thing. Don't tell Tom.
Well, in fact, somebody commented, I can't remember whose comment it was, and they said, thank you for paying for me to go in.
And there are a few suggestions coming up, like the Great Home, and where's it gone now? Sorry. Laura said if you go to the Netherlands, Scheiden, something like that it is. Where if I'm worried I'm going to lose all these suggestions. If you have any suggestions, if you wouldn't mind, email them to us at mudlarkin, I know we're still mudlarkin@aol.com, and then I can lift them all in, put them into a separate document, and I know where they are, just in case I lose them on, because the chat has a habit of losing half by the time I get to the end of the show. So if you could do that, mudlarkin@aol.com, and let us know your suggestions for recipes, places to go, anything like that.
Yeah, and places in the country that you know of that have got strong links to particular recipes, such as we in the past, and I would not be adverse to doing it again. We could always do a more professional taste test up at I'll get it now. Bakewell.
Oh, we had Bakewell tarts, and I was a bit sceptical. But I actually preferred them to Mr. Kipling's Bakewell tarts. I was surprised.
We could revisit that because we did that on the old camera.
We ourselves,
We did that on the old camera, sat on the bed in a Premier Inn. So perhaps we'll go to a cake shop.
If you haven't seen our video on Bakewell, go and have a look at it.
That's one of the old ones.
It was really early days. We weren't terribly good at things then, but it was interesting to see what a Bakewell tart looked like, and we went to the original Bakewell tart shop. That was fun.
There we are. Beata used to live near Bakewell.
Right.
No, Laura, I'm not going with that one. She reckons I should do a blindfold taste test. But I'll definitely say yes to Linda Peterson's idea that we should take a trip to New Zealand.
Oh yes, definitely.
Oh yes,
I'll go pack.
That's definitely got to be a yes. But no, please feel free to email us suggestions. As I say, with the email, we don't lose it like in comments, and we can just. Caroline is very good at filing. Put it this way, Caroline's a lot better than me at filing.
Everybody's a lot better than you than filing. Mike says, how are you feeling, Caroline? My mum was born in Singennydd. Spelling. I think you've spelled that.
No.
There's an H in there somewhere. I'm going to my glasses. I think there's an H after the G, I think. Possibly. Yes. I got excited when you showed Caerphilly. It's so close. Yep. We show it to Sneggy sometimes, Singennydd. It's quite a long word.
Do we have?
I've
got a feeling we've been to the monument in Singennydd at some point. I dread that one.
You went all on your own.
I must have been. I tell you what, I've probably been researching it. But we will. Singennydd is an amazing place. Let me think. Yeah, the oldest person that I have ever done a service for was from Singennydd.
Oh, there you go. You heard it here first.
A lady of 104 years of age. And I commented at her service a couple of years ago how, of course, Singennydd is also linked to a terrible mine disaster. And this lady would have grown up with all the people around her having lost someone from the mine disaster. She was a child born after the event, but she would have grown up in that time. And it was quite incredible. 104 years old, she had outlived both her children, and her husband fought for 4.5 years. He was with the Africa Corps fighting with Rommel, and he died in the last year of the war. And we played Vera Lynn, We'll Meet Again at the end, and there was a photograph, the last photo ever taken of my family.
She'll meet again.
We did, because she was called, she did. She met her family. Because the photograph was of her husband, and her 2 young children just before he went back on his last leave, when he went back to the war. And we had that on the back, and I had everyone to look at it as we played We'll Meet Again and went out. It was fantastic. I remember that. And that was a Singhenid lady.
There we go.
There we go. I know my Singhenid.
Mo sent us the ingredients for Irish stew: 2 large onions, 4 large carrots, half a pound, I'm assuming, of stew and steak, mince or lamb, 8 large potatoes, salt and pepper. So there's not a lot of flavourings in it. I go crazy with my stew. I put a little bit of salt in, but I put curry powder, ginger, chilli powder, a couple of stop cubes. So my stews are quite spicy, really.
I shall return.
But right, well, that's brilliant. Thank you. Anything else? Beata says you could visit me in Westphalia. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Westphalia. Isn't there? Now this is going to sound really crazy. Isn't there a Westphalia conversion kit you can have on a Volkswagen camper? For some reason that just popped into my mind. Now, am I crazy? Or is that really a thing? Let me know if anybody knows. Let's have a look. Right. Oh, hello, Rufus, you're in. Share that recipe, Caroline, please. I'll tell you what. I'll make a stew on one of my videos. I don't know. It's probably not going to be this week. Maybe. We've got a little bit of babysitting to do up in Hastings this week, so we're going to do a video up there, and we're going in search of a Banksy. That's going to be fun. I hope it's still there. It should be. As long as it isn't buried. And if it's buried, we've got to uncover it. And I'm not saying any more. But if I can film up there, because we're looking after Max, so Max may help me and we can make a stew up there. But if not, I will put one of my stew in the next couple of weeks. Again, if you could remind me by sending to mudlarkin at AOL, make a stew.
Right, now then, we can't make a stew here on the live show, but I can show you Caroline's stew because...
Don't tip it.
There we go.
How are you going to show that?
I'm going to tip it. I've filled it to an angle that I can tip it just to there. There we go, folks. There is Caroline's stew.
There's no meat in that one.
No, that's vegan vegetarian stew, because that's my stew. And there we go. There is a bowl of vegetable stew.
Oh, there we go. Yes. Westphalia is part of a camper thing. Oh, thank you, brilliant. I'm not completely mad then. Oh, Jeannie!
Oh,
thank you ever so much.
Your
$2
Jeannie.
Canadian super chat. Oh, that's really kind of you. Thank you ever so much, and we really do appreciate that. Thank you.
We do indeed. We do. Should we ask a question?
We really should, shouldn't we? We're getting
20 minutes in.
Chatty tonight. Wrong one. Sorry.
We sent you off on a ride again.
It's getting late.
We thought, whew, we're exhausted. We'll have a 10-minute break. Right. The reason Manky is so excited and wanted to be in my pocket and is feeling like a part of the show and a big star is because Manky came up with a bright idea. And he decided that what he would like to do as part of the new format is just turn up unannounced throughout the video.
Yes.
Getting on with his own thing, but then he's going to count how many times he was in the video, and then one of the questions could be, how many times was Manky in the video? So, the first question tonight is, you may have noticed Manky made a number of appearances, but what was that number? Was it A, 5 appearances, B, 3 appearances, or did he only appear once?
Oh, just a second, don't answer yet.
You can't answer yet, so
go.
if you, there you go, you can go now, What do you think, folks? Are you going to go for 5 times Manky turned up? Are you going to go for 3 times Manky turned up? Or are you going to go for once that Manky turned up?
And well done if you get this right, because I edited the video and I got it wrong. I miscounted.
Caroline edited the video and Manky had to point out that she'd miscounted.
I know. Yes, Anne, it is. So you've had a sneak preview of that.
Ninfa, you can't answer 2 in a question that offers you 5, 3 and 1. we will have to assume that 2 means B and you're guessing 3, which gets very confusing for an old man at this time on a Saturday night.
Kentish Mudlark said, any dumplings? No, I was out of suet. And I use a vegetarian suet, so we haven't got to worry about
I can have that as well.
And why I like putting dumplings in a stew is because there's a little bit of flour that comes off and thickens the juice as well, and it makes it more gravy-like rather than just broth-like, and I like that. But Phil doesn't like dumplings, but he doesn't mind taking them out and then enjoying the stew, yeah.
Oh, and I'll eat them, but I'll eat it if it's there, but I don't understand why people like them.
Oh, I could just eat the dumplings.
No, I don't get that.
They're bad for you though, and that's where I enjoy them, I'm sure.
I don't get that. I think if you're going to eat calories, why eat dumplings when you can eat chocolate?
They're so tasty though. I actually enjoy them almost as much as chocolate.
Oh, now I'm starting to wonder, what have I married? A woman who is a borderline addict to dumplings rather than chocolate.
I think I got lots of things that all sort of run on the same level. Avocados, which are bad for you. Peanut butter, which is bad for you. Dumplings, which are bad for you. Chocolate, which is bad for you. Cakes. Ooh, cakes are up there with chocolate. Cakes and chocolate are definitely on the same level. Right then, Beata counted a different number. Mind you, did you notice how at home I see the Yorkshire Mudlark saying Manky belongs in the castle? Did you see how at home he'd made himself? He opened that door and he really thought that was his bedroom. He's convinced we live in a castle, I think.
Now then, if we have got this wrong, if Manky and I have got this wrong, then we will have to apologise next week. But on our count, I can tell you now, Manky, what was it? That's it, 5. That was on our count.
I counted 4.
At the well, that was 1.
Yeah.
At the door,
Yes.
that was 2. At the window,
Yes.
looking out towards the courthouse.
Yeah.
At the Tommy Cooper statue. And
The dragons.
by the dragons.
So he was 5.
They were the 5 that we recalled. The dragons, Tommy Cooper statue, the window looking out, the well, and when Manky opened the door for us. If there is more than that, you'll have to let us know. There's definitely not less.
Now, Laura is saying in a tree.
In a tree?
Did we put him up a tree?
In this one?
I can't remember.
He was in the tree in the previous one.
But was he in the tree in this one?
He was definitely in the tree in the previous one. Not in front of the castle, but in front of the octagonal church.
Ninva said tree as well.
So did you
sneak in?
Did he climb a tree when we weren't looking? If that's right, then we're going to have to give special prizes next week to those who said 6.
No, your special prize is double what the prize is this week, which is nothing.
That's right.
Kudos. You get double kudos points.
No. I'll invent a platinum podium and I'll make it big enough for all of those who said 6. But if we go with the nearest number to 6, which is 5, as we are now all feeling doubtful.
Don't you just love the professionalism of this channel?
Oh, I tell you, we know what we're doing. What are we doing? So now I've got to find an answer that's right. And I've got to go down, because there were some quick answers in, but the B's and C's were flooding in, and then Rachel Remy came in
well
with
done,
A.
Rachel.
Now then, I've got a feeling that I'm right.
Yes.
Yeah, the Yorkshire Mudlarks were the next correct answer because they put the number 5.
Right.
That's correct. And then somebody else for number 5, and it's Sally Sendor.
So well done, was the Yorkshire Mudlarks?
Yeah, it started with Rachel, Yorkshire Mudlarks, and Sally. They are the 3.
Well done.
And Beata was the next one with an A.
Oh, nearly there.
So there we go. They were the 5 that we recalled, but if Manky's been climbing trees and hiding in shot,
We can't control him.
we will have to double. Everybody, watch the video again.
5 times to be sure.
Yeah, watch it at least twice to make sure. And
Get all your family to watch it.
Yeah, we get the viewing figures through the roof. There we go.
Lexi said, never mind Manky making himself at home. I think you were moving yourself into that castle, Caroline. I'm saying, oh yes, definitely. I'm saying, oh yes, I can put my art studio and just a little alcove. That's all it was, and the fireplace was massive.
You could have an art studio in a fireplace.
You could.
You were big enough.
Yeah.
Saying our mind, in fairness to Caroline, she was a martyr to the cause, not realising it while in there. By the time we were ready to leave, it was a bit of a struggle to get back to the car.
Ooh, minis.
And knees are killing her because we'd been up and down so many, and because of the towers, then it was constantly up and down but turning at the same time.
Oh,
And for anybody with
Rachel.
poor knees, they know what it's like.
I was so happy to come in first. I had to interrupt Phil. Well done, Rachel. Thank you
Rachel.
ever so much. You got a $5 super chat. Oh, thank you, Rachel. We really, really do appreciate
We
it.
do.
Thank you ever
We do.
so much.
I'm going to make
Thank
you first all night. I won't really. Now, if Rachel's first
I
next
know, it's
time,
gonna look like a
it's
fix.
going to look like a I can't fix it. I can't even
You could be emailing her the answers.
I can't even help the people who are first to be first sometimes because the internet puts them third on my page. I just never know what's going to happen. But right then, I tell you what.
Go on then. You tell me what.
I think we've got a picture somewhere of the river that we visited.
Right. Bear with me.
These images were sent by Kate and Ollie. Those who remember the time that we went on our wonderful mudlark with Ollie and Kate on Pipestem Bay up at Abergavenny, well, here's a shot of it now. Not now, just a week or two ago, sorry.
It's not live.
And man, look at that.
Well, look at the colour on the water, how brown it is.
It was a real humdinger. We were saying about how bad the weather was getting in January. Well, that shows you how bad it was. And I think there's a shot there, look. Now,
that's the footpath.
we were on that footpath filming, and to the right, the banking actually went down about 5 or 6 feet to the water level when we were there. Not that day, it's been right up over onto the path. But of course, Ollie is a mudlarker, and Ollie knows how to get the best finds.
There he goes.
And there he is when the water level dropped by about 6 to 8 feet. Ollie was down there with Mum on the camera taking the pictures, scouring around to see what he could find just below the bridge on Pipestem Bay. And he found something. He found loads of pipe stems, but he also found something a bit bigger. That is a bit bigger than a pipe stem. He found a skull. I know there are those out there who like that sort of thing. So there we go. So well done to Ollie because he's really getting into his mudlarking.
We're back.
And taking advantage of the falling water levels. But of course, when water levels are that high, do not go near the rivers, folks.
No.
There were a few killed this year again. Thanks to the high water levels, they are so tempting to people to get close. But you never know how much of the ground you're standing on has been undermined. As you can see there, fortunately, Kate was able to stand on a solid footpath that was completely laid by the authorities and was safe.
Oh,
but you
Christina.
wouldn't want to go down there.
We've got a
thank
27
you.
Swedish crowner or Swedish crown super chat from Christina Mizaki. Looking forward to seeing some cooking and baking. Oh, thank you ever so much, Christina.
That's so kind of
Yes,
you.
we're hoping to do it. No, we can't promise it every week because if some things go wrong, we don't want to disappoint anybody. But we are going to try to put in a cooking segment every week.
Well, in order to get the cooking segment in this week, we had to delay. Caroline always edits by Thursday morning. We ended up cooking Thursday and editing on Friday, and the video was going out on Friday. So we managed it this week, but sometimes life just gets in the way. So if it does, it does. But it is something that we enjoy to do, and I enjoy eating the food. And I certainly enjoyed eating my cream teas
yes.
last week. That was. I'm a martyr to the cause. I tell you, a martyr to the cause.
Right.
So there we go. So then,
it's trying to. We're not used to this format, and I got something I want to show you all.
Oh yes. Now we should show that because that's what we were talking about earlier.
This is the welcome pack. Tom went to get us a welcome pack and turned out there weren't any there, so we had to wait for hours to come. So I thought I've taken out the things with our address on. I'll show you what comes in the welcome pack. It's very expensive.
Yeah,
if you can see the sheen on that, it's a bit of posh, isn't it? Oh,
Because
Jeannie! Thank you ever so much, Jeannie. You interrupted me by putting a coffee donation. Thank you ever so much, Jeannie. That's really kind of you, and we really, really do appreciate that.
Indeed,
Thank you ever
we do.
so much.
Indeed, we do.
Right, so we got a sticker. Do you see the sticker? To go on your car, Cadu member. Ooh. So put that back on there, and we've got a card each, and it says keeper, because they treat you as a keeper of the castles and of the heritage because you've paid. Which one is it? Why is my finger on there? There we go. Because you pay the money that keeps the castles updated and things and renovated by your fees every year, you get called a keeper. So we're now keepers of the castle. Well, Manky is convinced now that he really does own a castle.
And they have
terrible.
They have a variety of prices for individuals, for couples, for families, for pensioners, etc. Even though I'm 62, I don't qualify as a pensioner yet. But our fee was £83 for the two of us for the year. But that also, as well as every Cadw site in Wales, gives us half price entry to every British English heritage site in England. And I understand that if we renew at the end of the year, the fee will go down, not up, and we will then have full entrance to both England and Wales.
So we're probably not going to go to many in England for a year and then we get them all free, so we'll concentrate on Wales. But we probably will still, if we're in somewhere and there's a castle, we'll go in and pay the half price.
And when you think that the entrance fee to the castle for one individual on a day is over £10, then that visit would have cost us £21. So for less than the price of 4 visits to the castle, we can visit everything in Wales for free, and we can have half price in England, and at the end of the year it goes down.
And also in the summer, now we've got the cards, I'm going to take my sketch pad and my pencil case in, and when I've got an hour or so to spare, I'm going to sit in the middle of Caerphilly Castle to do my art.
Yeah, what Caroline means by that is, when she's dropped me off at the Creme, just the other side of the mountain at Thornhill, she could drive back over, spend an hour in the castle drawing.
I could go sit in, like you were saying about me making myself at home, Lexi. It's very cool in the castle. I could go into the castle.
Take your little chair.
Yes, draw my art in the castle and settle down nicely. So, yes, we would actually be sort of living in a castle.
We would.
So anyway, they gave us this map, which is like, it's just South Wales, Cymru, that's the Welsh. There's the English language side of the bottom bit of Wales. And you've got plenty of castles there to be visiting. You see some pictures of castles. So that's nice, you can settle down and plan if you're going for a day out. These castles are all within easy reach for a day trip for us. So some of them may be a little bit further on, like the ones right over here, probably about 2.5 hours away. But we could still do it as a day trip if we wanted to. So they give us one each, save us arguing and fighting over them.
The other useful thing is, if there is payable parking, I think you get to park for free if you remember.
Yes.
So that reduces the
£5
cost.
a car every time, that adds up as well.
And, you know, I know generally people have a negative view of things that are set up by authorities because they don't always get it right. We have to admit that. But I think with regards to something like Cadw, I think that they've got it right, because by setting the prices they have, instead of having an elite few who are paying a large amount, what they've got is a massive proportion of the population paying a smaller fee, which means that these buildings are getting more access, more people are going in, and it becomes really belongs to the people. And I think that's a lovely thing, because there were quite a few people there that day, but we managed to, a large crowd of school children came out as we went in.
So we could do more filming.
So that kept it a bit quieter, but Caroline managed to keep, because you don't want children in shot, so we try to avoid people, because someone did ask, did you have the castle to yourself? Because we managed to get out of shot.
It was quite quiet. Inside the castle we did.
It was quite quiet on the inner centrepiece. Yeah. One couple came into the big hall while we were there.
We were in our big hall trying to enjoy the ambience, and somebody walked in.
Yeah, I tell you what, people just take advantage.
Lexi's laughing. Do my art in the castle. Moving in gradually, lol, more like. I could, couldn't I?
Right, do you want another question?
Yes, I think we really should.
We really should. Gilbert de Clare, the 18-year-old Earl who built Caerphilly Castle around 1270. I say that because he started 1268, finished around 1271, so it's easier than all those dates.
Well, let me let you off.
Had a nickname. What was that nickname related to? Was it his age? That would be A. His appearance? That would be B. Or his nationality? That would be C.
Go.
Do you think that Gilbert de Clare, the 18-year-old Earl who built the castle in 1270, had a nickname that was related to his A, age, B, appearance, or C, nationality? So was he the young Duke, or was he the short Duke, or was he the Dutch Duke? You know, what did they use as an handle to his nickname? Was it A, his age, B, his appearance, or C, his nationality?
I got it wrong. Just to remind everybody, while we're waiting for the answers to come in, if you've got any suggestions of recipes, places to visit, towns, things that are in towns, or anything of interest, let us know. Send a message to mudlarking@aol.com and they'll all go in my big file, and then we'll slowly work through them.
Now, I must say, answers are flooding in, and this time, unlike last time, the most common answer appears to be the correct answer.
Right.
In your head, when you guessed, did you guess right?
No.
No.
Everybody already knows that.
Now, my cleverness didn't work on many. It did work on one, it seems, because I thought I'd catch out a few with age by mentioning he was 18, you see, but it wasn't age.
I went for nationality.
And because his name was Gilbert de Clare, which is obviously continental, not Welsh, then I thought people may have gone nationality, and several did. But it was actually his appearance, because he was known as Gilbert Red Gilbert. And the reason he was known as Red Gilbert, or I suppose around here they would have used the word coch, is it? That's the red, isn't it? So it'd be, the reason they did that was because he had red hair.
Right.
So it was his appearance. He had ginger hair, and therefore they linked that to him and called him Red. So there we go. Who was the first ones? Because as I've said, a lot of ones got it right. And the very first answer in was right. And it is the man with the anchor.
Well done, Adam.
Yes, he was the first answer and he was correct. Then we had a couple of people who agreed with you.
Right.
Which makes them wrong. And then we came in with bees galore. And the first one was Christina Cook.
Oh, well done, Christina.
And the next one was Michelle Grady.
Well done, Michelle.
So there we go. We've got, and just to mention Susan Haywood, because that was the next correct answer, and just straight behind Michelle Grady. We had 3 in a row there, but Adam got in first. So
right.
Adam, Christina, Michelle, you are first, second and third for no win. It was his appearance that gave him his nickname. Now we've got a picture of a brick, haven't we?
We have.
We have a picture that was sent to us by Andy.
Yeah.
And it's his brick collection.
Right, bear with me again.
Whoop, wrong one.
I know that's not a brick.
No.
There.
Yeah, that was definitely a skull. That was not Andy in cosplay uniform. That was just a skull. There we go. This is a section of Andy's brick collection. As you can see, it goes off the page. Some of them are still wrapped. He does look after his bricks.
He does.
He wraps them in bubble wrap in case they get broken. I think.
There's a few there I really like. I love the Joe one. I think it's Joe, or is it JCE? It looks like J-O-E.
Oh, it could be JC, but it definitely looks like Joe, doesn't it?
And I love the ones with electricity on. They just amuse me.
I wonder if SNEYD. I wonder if that's an abbreviation of Singene.
It could be. Right, just a second. We need to
or whether it's actually letters
Right.
for something else.
do that. I'll be back with you any second now. There we go.
Anything could happen. You could be going back on a ride. You never know with Caroline. So that was nice to see. And please feel free to send your photos in of anything of interest to you, because we are now far more a general sort of magazine program. So
Yes, if
anything
you've got
that's
anything that's
linked
interesting.
into, somewhere you've been, a castle,
A
you've
recipe
seen.
you've cooked?
Yeah, put your cooking in. We don't mind. You know what? They love talking about food in here.
Yeah, oh yes. You start us off on food and we're gone.
Actually, I'm not.
Hello, Heather.
I'm not sure who it was now. Somebody mentioned having what do they call an air fryer that they
Yes.
hadn't used yet, because it seems they label our allergen now. They
I know
sell
air
them under
fryers. They're
air
not
fryer.
air fryers.
Well, they are, in as much as they blow the
But-
fan air and they've got the allergen. The principle is there, even though they knock those oven
But
things.
on the other hand, because I was looking, because we either were going to have an air fryer or a halogen oven. Apparently, it's cheaper to use an air fryer because it cooks in less time than a halogen. A halogen takes longer, but still less time and less power than a full-size oven. But with the little air fryer, you do get that smell of fried food in the air, and it's just one of those things I don't like. So we went for the halogen oven, and there you don't get it. If you're cooking chips in there, you don't get that. I don't know how to explain it, but it's more concentrated if you have an air fryer. So the air fryer does fry, whereas really the halogen bakes.
Yeah, but they're called air fryers.
They-
Just like
they-
to say they're
but
described in the
I
description.
think they're being sneaky putting that
Yeah.
in because you're looking for an air fryer and the halogen oven is cheaper. So
Yeah.
you'll think, oh, I'll get that one.
Well,
And
not
it's
necessarily. It
probably-
depends where you buy your halogen oven.
Oh, which
Somebody
one you
asked
buy.
if we had a Nutri Chef, and when I looked, the Nutri Chef is 1.5 times more expensive than the one we've got.
Yep.
And
So no, it's not a Nutri-Chef.
the whole Lewis's, ours is, and been making products since 1800 and odd, but they don't think they made this one. They probably brought it in from China. But the whole thing now with the air fryers is all to do with saving energy, and that's definitely something the halogen does. Our halogen packed up and broke down after a number of years, so that's why this one is a new replacement. But we've had one for many years, and when we spent our 6 months in Spain, we took the halogen with us, and it broke down while we were there. The element in the lid stopped working. So when we came home, my mum had a spare one in a box. We took the lid, wrapped it up in clothing, put it in the suitcase, took it back to Spain because we loved using it so much. It is such a brilliant thing, and it's perfect. Well, as you could see how quickly, what were those things in there? Less than 15 minutes. About 12 minutes, and they had completely...
And you're taking a good 5 minutes to warm up our big oven.
Yeah,
so.
it's just no point. The microwave combined with that does the trick.
And the final deciding point, 'cause I was still on the fence, you can't fit a full-size, massive family pizza into the air fryer, but you could into the halogen, which was my final deciding point.
But we have to distinguish, when we refer to the air fryer, it is what was always called an air fryer for years and years, and now suddenly they're calling everything air fryers because it's
what sells.
It's the hashtag that sells it. But genuinely, we've got no axe to grind. Buy it from any company you want. But we have always liked it. I also like the way they light up the kitchen in the night. If you're cooking in the evening, the light's out, because the halogen comes on and off, heating up that bowl to keep it hot. You get this brilliant glowing light. It's like having Martians landing in the kitchen.
Well, Karen said you could take your halogen camping. Yes, we are thinking of putting it into Abbey and taking it with us, because then we can have a lot more. We've got hobs, but we've got a microwave, but it's It's not the same in a microwave. If you want something to have like browned on the top or a bit of a crust to it, it's not going to happen in the microwave, is it? So take it with
the
us.
allergen is brilliant for pizzas and things like that. And virtually everything we do in the oven will be able to be done in the allergen, and was in the past. Because very often Tim wants to put something in separate to us. The whole oven's getting heated for one tray in a corner. And the oven is this size. You're heating that space to 200 odd degrees, which takes forever, whereas you just got a glass bowl.
Well, lots of people have air fryers. Nathan, our son, he's got an air fryer.
Yeah.
And we're very impressed. The chips out of it were really nice.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Very crispy. I think it does make nicer chips than the halogen.
Yeah, definitely.
The halogen was okay, but the chips were really something else out of the air fryer.
It swings and roundabouts, but ultimately, because we've been using halogens for 15 years, something like that, then it tends to be, it's what we're used to, it's what we know, and I say, that cost us 50 quid. And when you think we will make that money back very quickly. If you buy too expensive an item, if you spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on an item,
it's nice, you've got the luxury of it.
If you love the way it cooks and what it does for you advantageously, then great. But if it's only because of this soaring price of energy, then you've got to work out how many lifetimes before you actually make the money back. So that's how I always think anyway. You know, I think if I'm going to save money, I'm going to save money. And we love the argent. It's great. And we're able to use it.
Lexi said we need a cooking segment done from Abby. Next time we go away, we're waiting until we know the weather's going to be decent. When we'll go away and we can do a castle in the area, we'll do a few little things, and we'll also do a cooking segment. And you may find if somebody sent in a recipe that's going to be easy in the caravan, we'll cook that. So there we go, think of some nice easy recipes.
Because we may manage to get away for a few days over your birthday, because that'll be...
Oh, thank you, Oliver. Oliver's given us a coffee donation. Oh, thank you ever so much, Oliver. That's really kind of you, and we really do appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's very, very kind. Caroline's birthday, March the 6th. I just booked up for a birthday treat today, but I had to book it for Sunday the 5th.
I know.
Yes, there is a very, very nice restaurant in Abergavenny that serves high tea and afternoon tea, and we're going to go there for high tea, something we did on our anniversary a few years ago.
It's very nice.
It is very, very nice indeed. So we're going to go there to celebrate Caroline's birthday, and then hoping to get away for a few days. If the weather is warmer and pleasant, we will go in the caravan. If it's going to be biting cold and wet and horrid, then just for the 3 days we may go away somewhere else. But we'll definitely be on a birthday trip, and there'll be a birthday video then coming out. So there we go, it's all happening.
Laura said, are you on Pinterest? No, I look at Pinterest, but I haven't got my own board where I put my stuff on yet. I'm still not sure. I'm thinking I gave up a lot of social media last year when I had my mini stroke. I thought I need to stop something anyway, so I stopped virtually everything. And I'm slowly trying to introduce little bits and pieces, but I don't want to get to the point where I had so many different things running with with 2 different channels and with all the things I was doing personally. I just seem to be forever on social media. So I am going to introduce bits and pieces now, but it's not going to be, I'm not sure what it's going to look like yet. So that'll be coming up in the next few weeks. If I get a Pinterest account, I'll let you know.
We better do another question. We've got 12 minutes left and 3 questions to go.
Right then, speed round.
When we visited the Celtic jewellers, there were a lot of items in the window, including Welsh clogau gold, the vast majority of which today only has a percentage of Welsh gold because it's running out. Among the pieces, there were 3 pendants, one costing £159, another £350.
I saw that, Lexi.
And the other £630. Which of those was the most expensive? Was it A, the flower, B, the dragon, or C, the heart?
Go.
Okay, so you got a flower, dragon, and heart. One of them was £159, one of them was £350, one of them was £630. which one do you think was the £630 item? Was it the flower, the dragon, or the heart? A for flower, B for dragon, C for heart.
I got this one right, but then again, I should have done because
You filmed it.
I filmed it, then I edited it, and I made sure you could see the price, so cheating a little bit. Right then, we need to have a winner because we need to go on to the next question. We've been chatting far too much.
Interestingly enough, well, we won't go straight on this question. I want to just say something first. Interestingly enough, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 answers that are incorrect in a row. And they are spread between A and C. But then we've got 3 in a row that are right. Because the right answer was the dragon. So we have got Christina Mitazaki.
Well done, Christina.
It's B, so it's got to be Lexi with the B.
Well done, Lexi.
Followed by Colin Scott.
Well done, Colin.
So we got Christina, Lexi and Colin. 3 in a
Excellent.
row, 8 incorrect, 3 in a row. Brilliant. Just to say, we met up with friends since our last visit.
We did, but if I can just say, Othello, Beata's cat, says meow to all the viewers, and Manky wants to give Othello a kiss. Mwah! There we go, you've got a cat kiss. Right, yes.
There we go. We did. We met up with Mary and John. And John came bearing gifts. So I'll just show you 1 or 2. There's an NCB brick there. With the holes in.
With the holes in.
With the holes in. And it's a Godstone brick. Without holes in. And I've got 3 more bricks down there. So I got 5 bricks. Caroline was so pleased that John thought of me.
Mary was much more pleased that John thought of you than I was.
Not really, because I thought of them and I gave them something large to go back with. So it was an exchange on space for different items. So it was lovely to see our friends Mary and John. They are the couple who left so many lovely gifts under the donkey jacket for us. So I just wanted to say a big thank you and how wonderful it was to meet up for a coffee earlier in the week.
Right, should we go for
now, should we go for
question?
another question? Okay.
Oh, not again.
Look out. She's determined to send you on a drive. I don't know. Here we go. One of the very, I believe, impressive modern additions to the castle is the larger-than-life 20-foot tall statue of John Crichton Stewart.
I think that's Crichton.
Is it? Well, that's not my fault. You shouldn't put a CH in the middle.
No, I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that.
I'll go with that.
Goes for Crichton.
We'll go John Crichton with a CH Stewart, the 4th Marquis of Bute. The statue appears to be holding up the famous Leaning Tower. This feature, which was created by John Merrill, that's not produced any other way, that's right.
Don't be sarcastic.
Put it this way, I'm not doing a double L in, because that'd be Merrick. That'd be too difficult. John Merrill, and was erected in 2013. So it's only been stood there for barely 10 years. But the question is, what material, and you should know this one, did the artist use to make that impressive work? Was it A, stone, B, steel, or C, wood?
Go. Yeah, it didn't work, sorry. There you go. Nobody came in before I said go anyway.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Chris did they?
2 did.
Oh no, there's lots up there.
All right.
Look,
right.
I rest my case. Because the speed round, everybody being super speedy. So that's where we're going to go from there.
You sure? Because I feel like that, just to make sure that...
Yeah, all those were in.
All right.
They were
Were
very
they?
new. Yeah.
After the chat?
Yeah.
Very confusing.
Yes, one came in and then we got Laura, ABC.
Right, it was all
Yep.
been...
I found it very amusing. Right then.
Right then, so are we thinking stone, steel or wood? And the answer is, as Caroline will know, because Caroline got close up and personal with the Marquis filming him, didn't you?
I'm just close up.
Yeah, you was... I
We
tell
were
you
picking
what,
up curtains or
it was
anything.
pretty freaky, man, standing under that tower.
Oh, it was.
It really
I was
does
stood there and
leave.
I could see the tower actually over me like that. It was really scary. Kept waiting for you to land on you.
Well, on this occasion, first answer in is correct.
All right, who's that?
And on the top podium, Dan Fetters.
Well done, Dan.
And congratulations, because you got to be quick to catch out the Victorian Mudlark.
Well done, Adam.
Adam was second. And then we go down a little, and lovely to see Laura Lakefrog on a podium.
Laura.
Having just pipped to the post, Ed Creative.
Oh, nearly there,
knocking him off the third podium. So it's Dan, Adam and Laura. They've got the prizes tonight.
Now, we
Do you want to go straight to the next question?
Oh, look at that.
Oh, it's
Back to us.
Practice makes perfect, yeah?
Impressed.
Okay, we're sticking with the castle and we're sticking with the tower. Because as I mentioned during the castle history piece, the Leaning Tower of Caerphilly at